Hey there, welcome in. Let me pitch you a little scenario. Tell me if this sounds any kind of familiar. You just dropped a couple $100 on Facebook Marketplace, paid some scalper to get your hands on some prismatic evolutions because they are completely wiped out of all local stores in your 100-mile radius. After ripping through the packs that you finally got your hands on, you got nothing. You got completely goosed, not a single hit, maybe a Pokeball version of some character you've never even seen before, and now you're just staring at a pile of code cards, and you've created a Pokemon trading card game live account to wring whatever value you can out of what is left in front of you. That rings true for any of you. Fear not, you are not alone. This has been the experience of many in these trying times. But I am going to show you how to get the most out of Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, how to navigate this chaotic, confusing app, and actually start to turn things around where you can start enjoying this hobby, getting into the gameplay, and finding out that actually playing the trading card game is one of the most fulfilling things you can do. My name is Jared. I'll be your gameplay nurse. Stick around for a great video. One housekeeping thing that I want to get out of the way so that we can start enjoying the game is that this is a terribly unoptimized app, whether you're playing on PC or mobile or tablet or whatever. Things are going to get weird. Okay, that's just part of playing Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. There are bugs and issues that have existed for years. We've all grown to love them. You will too. But to help minimize that, first thing you're going to do is go, if you're on computer, you're going to go to the three dots in the top right. You're going to go to settings, and you're going to click reduce board VFX, and that will just help your computer run this a tiny bit better. If you're on mobile, you don't have to worry about that, but be aware that this game will drain your battery and overheat your device very quickly. I usually take the case off of my phone if I'm going to be gaming on it for a little bit. Just kind of helps things go a little bit better. Just be prepared for jank. But we're going to get through it. It's going to be a lot of fun. First thing I want to look at is what game mode should you be playing on. You have in the top left three options. You have ranked, you have casual, and then you have casual standard or casual expanded. The difference between these two, expanded is like all of the past Pokemon cards, maybe not all, there's probably some missing, I'm sure, are viable. Not a lot of people play expanded. Most people stick to standard, which is in general the last 3 years of cards are what is viable for playing. Now, as far as ranked versus casual, ranked will always be played in the standard format. And my advice is just forget this casual button even exists. Just stick with ranked. This is your only game mode that you're going to be worrying about. And I say that as someone that has a lot of ranked anxiety when it comes to other games. Pokemon Trading Card Game Live is very forgiving, very generous with its ranking system. You won't go down in points for losses until you get higher up on the ladder, and even then it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't. Everyone plays ranked. Just stick with ranked. If you go into casual, I can't help you there. So let's just play ranked for now. Forget the casual button even exists. Getting into the battle pass and in-game currency system now. Pokemon Trading Card Game Live has no way to make in-app purchases. The only way you can trade real money for in-game currency is by buying packs in real life and redeeming these trade code cards. In lieu of using real money to progress in this game, we have a battle pass system. This is given to everyone for free, and there are daily quests, which will give you a total of 90 trainer points and 500 trade credits. As far as daily quests go, this is a screenshot from my main account. This is how they should look normally. You will have 2 different daily quests. They will have an objective that you need to complete in your games, and then they have the rewards, which, like I said, add up to 90 and 500 of their respective currency. If you don't have the ability to complete a daily quest, you can hit the little reset button there, and that will give you a new quest for that slot. You can only do this once a day, and it is almost a guarantee that if you hit that reset button, the quest will become worse than the one you had before. Now, this is what my new account daily quest looks like, and here comes a warning for you. I skipped the tutorial, and now I'm stuck on Battle the Professor quest, and I cannot hit collect. It does absolutely nothing. So this slot is essentially locked until I get that resolved. Remember when I said there'd be jank? This bug has existed for years, and it looks like it still exists today. So if you have not created an account yet, fair warning, don't skip the tutorial. I've reached out to support. Hopefully they'll be able to fix it, but I can't imagine that's going to be quick. For the two different types of currency, we have trainer points, which can be exchanged for cosmetics and booster packs and such. And then we have the actual good currency, trade credits, which is how we buy new cards and specific copies of cards. This is what you're aiming to build up mostly, and you'll be using your trainer points to get more trade credits. If you want to use them for cosmetics, that is your choice, of course. And if you already have spent some on cosmetics, don't fear. They're pretty easy to come by, although it can be a frustrating slow point for newer players. If we want to trade our trainer points for trade credits, that is a bit of a convoluted system. There has been a lot of math and people that have done the background work for this. So I'm just going to kind of go over a very simplified version of what you're looking to do here. So the most efficient way to convert right now, as of January 2025, even though this has been nerfed recently, is by buying the Shadow Rider collection from 2020. In order to do that, you'll go to Shop, you'll go to Bundles, you'll click on View All Bundles, and you will scroll down to July 2022. And then you will click on this one right here, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle Deck. Make sure that you're doing the right one. There's a couple different versions of it, but you want to go to July 2022, click on Shadow Rider Calyrex, and then you can confirm, you can exchange for 1,250 of the trainer credits. Now remember, I said you need to have 4 copies of a card before it will convert into trade credits. So your first couple purchases of this aren't going to give you a lot of trade credits, but after buying a few, that's when it really starts to rack up. The problem is that they recently put a limit on this deck, and you can only buy it once every 14 days after the available 4 are gone. So there's a couple different options that you can pivot to from there. Another common one to use is the celebrations, which you can get to by going to expansions, clicking here on the prismatic evolutions icon, scrolling to celebrations, and then you're going to be buying the 6-pack bundle right here. However, do note that you will not see as quickly of a reward ratio. You have to buy this quite a few more times than you do the Shadow Rider set in order to start seeing those big gains. But long term, this is currently the best investment, because after you've bought this a few times, you'll start to see very consistent currency ratio trades, basically. It's the best way to put it. But for brand new accounts where you're really not racking these kind of credits up very quickly, the Shadow Rider is your best bet to just get started quickly so that you can actually branch out, buy new cards to play with. Now the game is quite generous and does give us access to a number of powerful free-to-play decks that we can start messing around with right off the rip. By default, it has you selected on the Arcanine deck. I would not recommend this one. There are better, stronger decks to kind of get our hands wet with. Some of you may have heard of the Charizard EX deck. This is touted as one of the best beginner decks to pick up and start playing right away. So of course that is a great one to start with. Chen Pao has dropped off a little bit, but it's still quite strong. One that I would recommend. Flareon is brand new to the Prismatic Evolutions format. It's the free deck that they've given us for this. I am going to follow this video up with a guide on how to play the beginner Flareon EX deck and how to upgrade it. So make sure you look out for that if you're interested in playing some fun evolutions. Goldango is another strong meta deck right now. And then following that up with Roaring Moon EX would be my last recommendation for the free-to-play decks. So give all of those a go. There are plenty of videos on how to upgrade those, how to play with them, how to kind of get the most out of them. Some of them are on my channel, so make sure you take a look. Especially the Charizard. I go over this deck in depth with quite a few videos. So if you're looking for more information on how to play this one, peruse at your leisure. When you're watching YouTube tutorials on decks that you want to check out or play, a lot of YouTubers will include the deck list down in the description. This is an easy way for you to import this deck into PTCG Live. So what you'll do is you'll just copy this whole thing, and then you can come back over to the app and hit create deck right here. And then you click on import deck from your clipboard, which will bring the deck up into the deck creator with all of the cards that they are using in their version of the deck. Now, because we don't own a lot of these cards, you'll see we have this broken link icon. Let me switch scenes here real quick. We'll have this broken link icon here that we need to fulfill basically before we can start playing this deck. So you can click on the card, and then you can click over here on the left hand side this button that says exchange, and then this is where the trade credits come into play. Each card has a different value depending on its rarity. This Rodon V, for example, is worth 750 trade credits, so that's when you would buy this card and confirm the exchange. Because my account is brand new, I can't do that, but in order to play these decks, you will see that you need to buy all of these cards first. One thing to note is that some players like to play with blinged out versions of cards. So you might see a deck pop up that you want to play, and it's telling you you don't have the card even though you swear you've bought it before. And the reason for that is because they have a different version of the card, and you need to either switch it back to the version that you've bought or buy the version that they've bought if you really enjoy it. And how you do that is you'll click down here on this gray bar that says not owned, and now you can see all the alternate versions, art versions of that same card. So you'll just scroll over to the one that you do own, and then you'll add that one instead. The last way to buy new cards for yourself is by searching for them directly, and this really trips people up. So say I wanted to add Hoot Hoot to this deck. If I start typing in Hoot Hoot, I only see one copy here, the copy that comes with the free Flareon EX version of the deck. What you need to do before you'll see every version available for purchase is you click on filters, and then you click from owned cards to show all cards. And then you can hit see 4 cards, and now you can see every version of Hoot Hoot, including the ones you don't own. And then to buy it, you'll do that same thing. You'll click on the card, and then you'll click on exchange over here. And then you can pick it up for the amount of trade credits that it's worth. If you're at this point, if you're stressing about the currencies and how to gain them as quickly as possible, I would advise you to just kind of slow down a bit. Don't really worry about it. As you level up your profile, as you go through the battle pass, you are going to get a lot of currencies. You won't have access to as many cards as you want right off the rip, but they will come pretty quickly. So just try to play with the free decks that you have access to, and try not to stress about the ones that you don't. They will come with time. Speaking of, at level 34 in the battle pass, they are actually giving us access to one of the strongest decks in the meta right now, which is Regidrago. So that is coming for you very soon. You'll be able to hit rank 34 in the battle pass pretty quickly if you're just playing and going through those daily quests. So you have that to look forward to as well. Very cool that they have that as a free option for new players. My last piece of advice is to, of course, enjoy the game. There feels like there's a lot to sweat about, but that's why I created this video, so that I could do some of that upfront heavy lifting for you, so that you can get all the nonsense out of the way and just get into playing and enjoying the Pokemon trading card game. Just follow wherever your heart is leading. If this is like a really cool jumping off point and there's a deck you want to explore, don't stress about spending your credits in the wrong way, or that the deck might not be as strong as other decks. Just go for it. Just jump in. If you are really having fun playing on live, I would implore you to look on Google, see if there is a local shop near you that has like a casual night that maybe you could jump into. There are some pretty competitive decks that you can pick up in person right now, especially this Charizard EX has a League Battle deck that you can buy for $30. that is a really competitive deck to just start playing with right away. If you're brand new to my channel, please stick around. I've got lots of very helpful guides. I break things down very simply so that even brand new players can understand the reasoning behind the decisions that pro players are making as they're navigating through this game. I have lots of videos on Charizard and a few other decks, and I will be posting a Flareon EX guide very soon. So stay tuned for that. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions. And as always, please like and subscribe. I'm a newer channel, so these kinds of interactions with the videos really go a long way. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you around.